What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett with my guest host, Jessica.
Hello.
As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so, fact or fiction? Are the timekeepers in Loki real? I'm starting to seriously doubt them, and I'm simply doubting them simply because of just really all the dialogue that was going on in episode 2.
Yes, very much.
Because, I mean, Loki points out that, well, you know, basically the spaghetti monster in the sky is basically what he's kind of hinting at. He's kind of saying to the viewers and to Mobius that basically he's agnostic when it comes to the belief in them.
He's also not just saying that, he's also referring to them as like lizards. So, you know,
he's mocking them in a way. He keeps saying,
"Oh, you mean the lizard people?"
Yeah.
The lizard people. And Mobius is like, "They're not lizards."
But Mobius has never seen them.
Nobody has ever seen them.
Well, that Ravonna, I think is her name. That's the judge that was, I mean...
When Mobius went in her office, and he says, "Oh, so what are they doing?" And he even asked her what the timekeepers are doing. She's like, "Oh, they're protecting the time." Well...
It almost kind of makes you feel like... the way that she put it there... made me feel like, or the way that she spoke about it was that, oh, trust me, Mobius, they're real. They're watching over us. They're listening to everything that we have to say. To me, it felt really fraudulent.
To me, this seems like a God thing. Nobody's seen God.
Turn agnostic on me, sweetie.
But
fair enough. That's a fair point.
Some people believe in God. Some people don't. You know.
Yeah.
I myself believe in God. I believe He did everything. The Mobius, he believes that the timekeepers are real because he's lived in he's lived in it. He's seen it.
But see, that's the thing. I think we won't get the reality of what is going on until we get a little bit more information over the Minutemen, which are the soldiers there, and the people that work at the Time Variance Authority. I don't understand where they come from. That one guy's never seen a fish. He said he's never been outside of that that area.
I'm sorry, but that part was really funny.
Yeah, but so that rules out that they're not getting like humans from like various timelines of some kind. Are they really human? I haven't seen an alien.
And they're using the gemstones as paperweights.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, you know, in something like the MCU. You know, we've seen Guardians of the Galaxy. We've seen, you know, all these different aliens. But I haven't seen anybody at the TVA that didn't look human. It's very kind of strange. And I'm surprised that Loki maybe hasn't noticed that as well, because it feels like it's meant that it's a reality based for Loki.
You want to know something? Maybe he did realize that that's probably why he found the loophole.
Well, he found the loophole because he was trying to find out where that Lady Loki variant could be located and why she's not showing up on the TVA's radar. But that being said, you know, I think there's still some doubts about her. You know, everybody calls her Lady Loki, but is she really Loki? Is she really basically a variation of him? I don't necessarily believe that as well.
We already know who she is, though, because he even said her name.
Did he say her name? What did he say her name was?
I forgot.
Well, I know when he was looking through those papers, it said Lofison, which would be like a sister. I mean, that could be. That could be a different variation of him, or that could be a sister of his.
It could very well be
because that's his last name.
Because it's when they were in the supermarket.
Yeah.
And she got back into her real form, and he said her name.
But I feel like
that's where he said her name.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to until we know though a little bit more about her, what is her objective? Why is she after the TVA the way she is? Her sending all those basically time bombs all over all these these different worlds, and what's the end game with that? Is she trying to distract the TVA long enough where that she can go in there and maybe take out the timekeepers if they are real, or is she trying to figure out who's behind the TVA in the first place?
This is what gets me.
Not believing it's the timekeepers.
Loki even said this, and he said it to Morpheus, at the table. If the timekeepers keep track of everything in time, how come they already know the outcome of what we're doing? Yeah. And Morpheus says no.
So how did they not know how to stop it?
It's not like that.
I mean, it does kind of does bring up that point.
It's like, if they know everything in the time, how come they can't see what's going to happen?
And why do they need the TVA?
When Loki and Morpheus, when they get together and they do something, he says, oh, this is different. It's different. This is it slows down the time or something. I don't remember what he said.
I feel like if you are an omnipotent, omnipresent being, or beings, I could maybe see the usefulness in having the TVA to do some jobs for you. But it's like you said, they should know how to stop whatever this is going on.
Exactly.
Because it's got to take place.
And they can't even find it. Seriously, if they're the so-called timekeepers, they should know exactly where that person is.
I had a huge problem in episode 2 where when Loki found that little loophole, and I'm thinking to myself, how did people that work for the TVA not understand that if everyone dies in a situation that you could go in there and you could, like you said, dance around like he did in Pompeii. Go and release the goats and tell them that they work for the TVA, and it doesn't change the timeline. How did the TVA not understand this simple concept? Which kind of makes me wonder, how long have they really been there in the first place? Is this all just a sham?
And the thing is how did Loki find it? Mm-hmm. The one person found it within a
few minutes it took them millions of years to basically come up, which seems very. And what? If you're going to call him the lesser Loki, then you got to admit that at least the lesser Loki, or the less smart Loki, figured out something that they hadn't figured out in millions of years, which is just goes beyond me. But I feel like this is almost like a WandaVision like world, where that everything is not as it seems. It's in a low Loki. I feel like it could just be Loki just there. It could just be where that no one really around him is really real.
It could be the simple fact is that Loki is somewhere in the trans or something, and this is what he came to.
Think whatever,
like his subconscious brought him to the TVA, and his self-conscious brought him there because he knew he did bad. He knew he was doing something bad, and this is trying to get him back on the good path. So could be.
I feel like there's something malevolent behind that is the real TVA. I believe. Look, there is one statue of one of the timekeepers that looks a lot like Kang the Conqueror, the time traveler that goes in there and basically, which we know has had dealings with the TVA before, anyways. So I believe he's actually. I mean, I really do believe that he is maybe the one that's behind this whole thing and is keeping up this sham.
I don't know who that is.
Basically, a time traveler that has gone back in time became Pharaoh of Egypt, and was set up there. I think it was the Avengers that finally got rid of him from Egypt, and so he time travels around. He has had dealings with the TVA, but I just feel like there's something strange going on. I don't believe it is as it seems. I feel like we are about to get some kind of WandaVision-like experience from this. We'll just have to keep watching the episodes. Look, again, I don't necessarily believe that that is that the woman who is portraying Lady Loki is Lady Loki either. I think there's something more to that.
Like you said, it could be his sister, long lost sister.
Well, it could be his sister. It could be something else, but it's somebody that knows that there's something going on. They're portraying her as this villain right now, but at the end of all of it, the way Marvel goes, they're not going to have her as the villain. They've made her up to be too big, too smart. She's going to be the hero at the end of the day, because she's going to be the one that's going to uncover what the timekeepers really are, and she's going to be the one that helps them stop.
You want to know some plot twist?
What?
Bet you it's going to go the other way around. Because if Marvel thinks, oh yeah, we're going to do this because all of our fans know this, we're going to do a plot twist. Loki's gonna be the good person now, and the other one's gonna be the bad one.
Marvel is
and that's I bet you, because see, he saw his vision, and the end vision of him is him back home.
I mean, there is a thing where he becomes king, or at least it looks like becomes king of Asgard.
And he brings the army back with him.
What are you talking about?
In the first episode, he saw his vision, and he saw the ending of his mom and dad dying.
Oh no, that's not a vision. That was they were showing him what was going on.
Yeah, I know
what had transpired.
I understand.
Throughout the real timeline.
But see, he brought them there.
But then, how was that really the real timeline? Who's to say that really is the real timeline?
I don't think it was.
They showed that one thing of all the different Lokis. Who's to say that any of those are variants?
I personally believe that was just a show to get him on the good side.
Well, it was a show
to get him on the good side, to get him to cooperate, to get him to be good. It was to get him to
cooperate. So it was to get him to realize the bad things that he goes and does. When he comes to the realization that, hey, he's behind his mom's death, that basically he dies at the end. He is what they were trying to set up in that moment. Mobius was that to come to the realization that he makes everyone better around him. He makes the people that are fighting against him better qualities of themselves, while at the end of the day, he's the joke that makes everyone better. Mm-hmm. That's what Mobius was trying to get out of him, and it worked. He was very cooperative in episode 2. He started, really showing that, hey, I am as smart as I think I am. But I felt like Mobius was kind of off in episode 2. That's the way I looked at it. I felt like Mobius kind of just didn't want to be there. More
trying to get.
There's got to be, and this is maybe something that you missed in that episode. I don't know if you noticed. You remember when Mobius is in that room with that judge, a female judge, and they're talking about the timekeepers, and he places that cup on the
and table, and she's like, Morpheus, and he goes, what?
Or Mobius.
Says, the rings.
Yeah, but he doesn't remember putting them there. He's like, was that me? Like, he doesn't remember those conversations. He doesn't remember those things. So somebody wiping his memory that makes him. Is it her? She very well could be a villain in it. But look, this is the way I look at it. Lady Loki, I think she's gonna be the savior.
I think she's gonna be the villain.
I think she's gonna be the savior.
I think it's gonna be a plot twist.
Because there's no way Marvel in 2021 will make her a villain.
Listen.
They will not.
Listen.
It doesn't matter how much sense it makes. They will not make it that.
I understand.
They're not gonna have a white guy as the hero.
I understand, but just hear me out. It's 2021, honey.
It's not 2020. Crazy things happen. This is 2021 we're talking
about. Anything can happen.
I mean, overall, do you think that the Timekeepers actually? Judging by what you've seen of it,
judging by what I've seen, I would say yes and no. I would have to still watch a little bit more of it to get a good grasp on what they think, how they think.
If you look at the clues, you take Mobius and Loki having that conversation. You take Kang the Conqueror basically being I don't know. In that statue of it.
I didn't know who.
I know you don't, but I'm just telling you. You have that conversation. You have that thing with. I would say, yeah. And then you have Lady Loki coming up with some kind of plan, to take down the Timekeepers. Why does she want to take them down?
Oh, I just saw a song.
What?
Oh, maybe she's the Timekeeper. That's why she collected all the time.
What, like a displaced Timekeeper?
Yes.
Could very well be. You know what? I would believe anything that she's the good guy.
That's the plot twist. She's a Timekeeper.
She could be the only Timekeeper.
She could be the Timekeeper, and she's trying to get Loki to do something.
There's something
because at the end of this is what pisses me off, because I wanted to watch the next episode, and I hate watching episodes when they come out because I can't binge watch it. Anyways, when at the end of that scene, they go back to the station, and all of a sudden they just break, and everybody is panicking, and then they call the judge, and she gets this big old thing.
She gets that stick thing,
thing, and she runs out her office.
Like what is she gonna do? Is she gonna change timelines? It was hundreds of them.
It was a mass lines of everything.
And they were everywhere from Asgard to New York to different parts in time. It was all over the place. It was, Thanos' home world in 1982 or something like that.
Like they said, the Timekeepers are the only ones who can do that, who can take the branches, and you know what I'm saying?
To come up with look, I will give her this, to come up with the idea of bombing the timeline. But bombing the timeline isn't to ruin the timeline, it is a clear distraction. But what I could not figure out in episode 2.
She could probably be a Timekeeper, or the only Timekeeper, trying to distract the other people from.
So that she could maybe get back
in time.
Yeah, get back at whoever's in control of it now. That could be a fair point, but I will say this: I could not figure out in this episode how that lowly Minuteman that was kidnapped knew where the Timekeepers were, but yet you had somebody like Mobius that had never seen them. So how did the lowly Minuteman know exactly where the Timekeepers were, but Mobius has never seen them personally? I just kind of felt like that was kind of a little bit crazy and a little bit out there. But guys, let us know what y'all think. Do you believe the Timekeepers are real? Do you kind of pick up on some of maybe kind of the agnostic way that Loki goes about it? He's not believing that they're real. He's going along with the illusion. And even Mobius, I think now, is starting to see that it is an illusion. But guys, let us know what y'all think down below. And as always, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Y'all take care.